back here in the nations, back here in Nigeria, we're turning our attention to health matters, where there is now a call for parents who have autistic children to seek community and support and speak to one another, as autism is not a disease that should be hidden, but and that community can help resolve, some of the stigmatization that parents face. Now, we're going to speak more on this. For more insight into autism as a health condition, a consultant public health physician, Dr. Blossom Maduafokwa, joins me here in Lagos State. Good to have you join us.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so Dr. Blossom, I just wanted you to speak to, the importance, because sometimes we understand that there is a lot of stigmatization around certain health challenges, especially, autism. And I just wanted to speak to the importance of community in dealing with, that health challenge.
So it's important that you raise this, and that's one of the reasons we're celebrating today as World Autism Awareness Day, because we want to use this opportunity to bring to the fore the fact that individuals living with autism are people with autistic people are people. They should have access to every single thing that we all have access to, whether it's healthcare, education, and all the things that society provides. We need to look at autism as just part of what an individual brings to the table and not as a disease. So that's one of the things that we're stressing, to destigmatize autism and just normalize it. People do have autism. In fact, 1 in 100 children is diagnosed with autism. And we as a community, we as a society have to find ways to include them, whether it's education, whether it's in the workforce, but basically to normalize it and say, this person is just different. The person can still contribute to society.
And, I know we're talking about society and, talking about inclusivity, but even for parents, before we even get to the larger society, even for some parents who are dealing with this health challenge, for them, they are still trying to understand it. For a lot of parents, you find that they hide children like that. And what sort of mechanism should be put in place to help, such parents?
And that's one of the reasons that we're doing what we're doing today. Today, we're speaking to the public. In Nigeria, particularly, we have a lot of sociocultural issues where people want to hide such children. We also have religious issues where people want to explore or exhaust religious avenues before seeking care from registered professionals that can actually provide help. So one of the reasons that we're highlighting this today is to let families know that early diagnosis leads to better outcomes with autism. Studies have repeatedly shown that when children are diagnosed early and therapy is started early, they tend to do better than other children that are hidden for years and years. Some of these children sometimes only get diagnosed in adulthood. At that point, there's a lot that is already too late to be done. So it's our message to families, to parents, to our communities that hiding these children is not to their benefit, but bringing them to the places where they can get the help they need is actually in their best interest.
And there are stories of autistic children who are basically just geniuses. And I think I was, I was listening to one recently or watching one recently. He's autistic, but he's genius when it comes to tech and doing really, really well. Again, yes. I guess this also has to do with education, and I'm not sure we have made provision in terms of our education system for children with special needs. Isn't that something we should begin to look at? Because there is also, I find that most of these children have areas where they are really genius.
Yes. So what people don't understand about autism is that one of the clinical features of autism is these individuals tend to be overly focused on one or two things. And for this reason, they tend to be really good at those things that they're focused on. A lot of people don't realize the Oscar-winning actor Anthony Hopkins, he's on the autism spectrum. And these individuals, because they tend to be so overly focused on one or two things, they tend to be really, really good at it. But we have to provide a supportive environment for them to actually flourish. So you raise an important point, because our education system, we tend to be focused on individuals that can only be good at one or two things. So this person is good at English or math, etc. But there are so many other things that these children can do, and we need to have a framework in our education system that can actually support and allow those skills and those gifts to flourish.
Continue to spread the word, and thank you so much for the work you're doing. Consultant public health physician, Dr. Blossom Maduafokwa.
Thank you so much for having me. My pleasure.
All right, that's